champions. They don't want you to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. They left you, but God didn't. They walked away. They didn't explain, didn't hesitate, didn't look back. One day they were with you, laughing, making promises. The next day, silence, distance, absence, and you stood there broken, confused, and cold, wondering what you did wrong. You checked your phone more times than you care to admit. You reread old messages, stared at pictures, tried to remember the exact moment everything changed. But nothing came, no apology, no explanation, just space that once was filled with words now echoing nothing. That pain you felt, that hollow ache in your chest when they stopped caring, when they stopped choosing you, is real. And no one has the right to tell you to just get over it. It hurts because you gave your heart, you were real, you were present, and when people you love disappear without warning, it doesn't just bruise your heart. It tears at your soul, it makes you question your value, your voice, your worth. You start asking, what's wrong with me? But let me tell you something powerful. It's not you, and it never was. Some people were never meant to stay. They were never built to handle your storm. They were never prepared to walk the road God paved for you. Their role was temporary, seasonal, and sometimes just educational. Their exit was necessary for your elevation. You see, sometimes God removes people not because they're bad, but because they're blocking the blessing. Their presence in your life is a distraction, a delay, or even a direct attack against your destiny. So when they left, God stayed. When the world grew quiet, heaven started speaking, and you didn't even notice at first. You were too wrapped in grief, too buried in shame, too drowned in memories of how things used to be. But over time, you started to feel something different. The silence became sacred. The solitude became strength. You began to see that the love you were begging from others was waiting for you in your own soul. You found God in your loneliness. You found peace in your pain, and you started to rise. Not because everything was fixed overnight, not because the hurt vanished, but because you realized you were still breathing. You were still here, you still had purpose, and that was enough. Now listen closely. You don't need closure from people who never valued you to begin with. You don't need answers from people who couldn't love you at your worst. You don't need to prove anything to the ones who left, because their exit was the proof. They weren't capable of seeing your worth. They weren't ready for the weight of your greatness. They couldn't carry what God placed in you. And that's not on you. That's their limitation, not your lack. You kept showing up when they pulled away. You kept loving when they grew cold. You stayed loyal even when they were inconsistent. And now you think that was a mistake. But no, that was your strength. Your ability to love deeply, to stand in the storm, to offer grace even when it's not returned. That's not weakness. That's not foolishness. That's power. You gave what you had because your heart is full of light. And just because someone couldn't hold it doesn't mean you stop shining. It just means they weren't your mirror. So stop chasing those who don't see you. Stop trying to make broken people whole with your love. That's not your job. That's not your calling. You are not a fixer. You are a force. You are not an option. You are an answer. And anyone who walks away from you while you're still becoming isn't meant to celebrate you when you arrive. They walked away for a reason. Don't go chasing ghosts when your future is waiting. Don't mourn the exit of someone who couldn't see your value when God has someone prepared to honor it. Let them go. Let the memories fade. Let the ache transform. This pain you feel, it's carving space for something greater. This sorrow, it's making room for joy you've never tasted, but you have to trust the process. Because here's what they don't tell you, pain is the prerequisite for growth. No one evolves without wounds, no one transforms without trial, no one becomes powerful without first feeling powerless, and yes, you've cried more than you've smiled lately. Yes, you've questioned your sanity, your identity, your future. But let me remind you of something divine. Storms don't last forever. Seasons shift, wounds heal, and hearts rise. Your tears are not wasted. Your silence is not unnoticed. Your ache is not ignored. God sees you. He sees the way you kept showing up when your heart was heavy. He sees the nights you stayed up crying but still got up the next morning. He sees the strength you didn't know you had, and while people judged your surface, God was building your soul. He was using the rejection to make you resilient. He was using the heartbreak to sharpen your focus. He was using the abandonment to strengthen your identity. Because here's what's real. When people leave, you find out who you really are. You stop performing, you stop pretending, you stop waiting, and you start becoming. You start listening to that still, small voice inside of you, the one that's always been there, buried beneath noise and expectations. That voice that whispers, "You're enough." That voice that reminds you, "You're chosen." That voice that tells you, "Your pain has a purpose." And that's the shift, when you stop asking, "Why did they leave?" and start asking, "What is God building in me?" That's when everything changes. You no longer mourn the loss. You celebrate the lesson. You no longer need their presence. You stand in your own power. You no longer fear being alone. You see it as preparation, because greatness is often born in isolation. Look at any leader, any visionary, any world changer. They all had seasons where they were overlooked, rejected, misunderstood, and alone. And it was in those seasons that they became unstoppable. They weren't molded by applause. They were forged in silence. So don't resent the quiet. Don't rush the healing. Don't numb the pain. Feel it. Let it break you open. Let it tear down what no longer serves you. Let it refine your vision, your focus, your heart. Because once the fire is done burning, what remains is pure gold. You're not who you were when they left. You're stronger now, wiser, sharper, more focused. You've learned how to stand without support. You've discovered your voice. You've stepped into your power, and you're only getting started. This is not your ending. This is your emergence. This is the part of the story where the pain turns into power, where the ashes turn into beauty, where the goodbye becomes the beginning. So walk tall. Walk healed, walk forward, not because it doesn't hurt anymore, but because you're choosing growth over grief. You're choosing destiny over desperation. You're choosing to believe that God's plan is better than your past. And here's the truth you need to carry with you. They left, but God didn't. They doubted you, but God appointed you. They forgot you, but God called you, and He doesn't make mistakes. So stop mourning the doors that closed. Stop weeping over people who couldn't see you. Start looking toward the light that never left. Start walking into rooms you used to feel unworthy of. Start speaking life over your dreams again. You've been silent long enough. You've been hidden long enough. You've been broken long enough. Now it's time to rise. It's time to rebuild. It's time to believe again. And this time, you won't need their validation. You won't need their approval. You won't need their permission, because what's inside of you is greater than what left you. And the ones who walked away, they'll wish they had stayed, not because of the glow up, not because of the success, but because they missed the chance to witness the miracle. You, the real you, the healed you, the bold, fearless fire, tested God, appointed you. So breathe, let the past go, and walk into the future with your head held high. You survived what was meant to destroy you. You turned loss into fuel, and now there's no going back, no shrinking to fit, no settling for less, no delaying your calling. You were left behind, but only to be launched forward. You were forgotten by them, but remembered by God, and that's all you ever needed. Now rise. This is your moment, and it's already written.